the Aces ruined the Cameron Brink return game. They won 89-74, and more specifically, Angel Wilson made it the Angel Wilson game. It was an Angel Wilson masterclass. Watching her in the first quarter of that game, if you can, go back, find the highlights from the first quarter of Aces Sparks, and you will be reminded why Angel Wilson is the best player in the WNBA. I know the MVP race has taken off without her. You watch that first quarter, you can almost convince yourself that she should be back in the conversation with Nafisa Collier, with Alyssa Thomas, even in spite of all the struggles of the Aces this season. She was a perfect 8 of 8 in the first quarter. She ended up making her first 10 shots of the night. She dropped 17 points in the first 10 minutes. She ended with a stat line of 34 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, shot 69% from the field. Nice, made her only attempt from 3, and took just a single free throw. She was an absolute machine. There were moments in last night's game where I felt bad for De'Arica Hamby because she could do nothing every time that she was switched on to A'ja Wilson. That said, the Aces gave you a glimpse of, oh, could this Aces team make a surge at this point? They're not just one game above 500, they're 14-13, so give me a couple games. Jackie Young had a triple-double. Chelsea Gray had 8 assists and easily could have had some more. There were some missed easy bunnies on passes from Chelsea Gray. But the Sparks looked not great. They had been riding a 5-game winning streak, and that is snapped. They seem to revert to some of the early Sparks action. A lot of one-on-one. Did not play. I won't even say didn't play great defense. Did not play defense much of last night's game. But on the bright side, seeing Cameron Brink out there was great. I love watching athletes come back from devastating injuries, and for Cameron Brink's rookie season to have ended so soon with her ACL tear. She goes through the surgery. She's had over a year recovery at this point. And just the smile on her face, her family who was there supporting her, her teammates who were there supporting her. She came off the bench. She had 5 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block in 14 minutes. Bottom line, she looked comfortable and she looked healthy.
I am curious about the Aces. Maybe this is a corner being turned 4-6. Their last 4-2, excuse me, their last 6 back-to-back losses in that span to the Fever and to the Lynx. They get the Lynx on Saturday. Then I think they go back-to-backs with the Valkyrie. And this is one thing to beat the Sparks, and that's fine. But the Sparks aren't the Lynx. And if I'm going to consider you your corner turned, that's the team. Those are the types of teams you've got to be able to beat consistently. The Lynx, the Valkyrie, the Liberty, the Dream. In that 4-2 span, they do have a win over the Dream. And I don't want to say somewhere between a large part of the reason and the sole reason. Because it is more than a large part, but it's a little bit less than the sole reason that the Aces are where they are. Because A'ja Wilson on a given night can go out there and do that. And can, will, and does. So many times A'ja Wilson is out there balling out of control, and then you look up at the results and the Aces lost, and you watching game very clearly the Aces lost because the only damn one out there hooping is A'ja. She is literally carrying this team, kicking and screaming through the regular season up to this point. She'll get MVP votes. Yeah, they don't want to be good. I don't know what else to say.
They do.
I guess they want to. They're not capable. I don't know what the hell to say about them. They just aren't right now. Yeah. And so A'ja's like, no, come on, get on my back, kicking and screaming, carrying them potato sack style. A'ja's got the whole team here. Their legs are kicking. Their arms are flailing back there. They're screaming bloody murder. And A'ja's like, no, I'm going to carry you to as far as I can, and if that's to a first round exit in the playoff, damn it, that's what it's going to be. But y'all are going to follow me. And she's going to get MVP votes, but we don't give MVP to players on teams that are one game above 500. But she is having a hell of a run this year.
0 drop-off for A'ja Wilson.
0 drop-off and continuously elevated?
Yeah, I would, yes.
Right, it's not like she's peaked and she's plateauing. No, this year, she's hit a different level, and that's been one of the most fun things to watch in the W this season.
It's been a shame that the Aces have not been able to reach a different level alongside of her. The other biggest story in the WNBA last night was what ended up on the court during a Valkyries dream game.
Oh, I missed it. What was it?
We're not showing it.
Oh, can you describe it?
Most importantly, the Valkyries won. A game on the road. A rare road dub for the Valkyries, and perhaps they were inspired.
By what?
By a lime green phallic object that was thrown onto the court a toy of some kind. The camera person zoomed in to see what it was because the game had to be stopped. And then that camera person zoomed out really, really quickly. And it was neon green. It was giving a little Shrek. Or a big Shrek. But the
That seemed
Valkyries,
like a big Shrek.
The Valkyries put those V's up and they moved on. And they got the win. And Brittany Griner was short on a potential game-tying shot, and the Valkyries won that game. And I was proud of my Valkyries for overcoming the distraction. Somebody tried their best
to throw
the game.
What I'm hearing you say from what you're describing is something that's longest, loveliest, leanest. I call it the leanest. Another 5-letter word rhyming with cleanest or meanest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close enough. If you were rhyming, some could find connectivity there.
We were talking a lime green one. Just seems a bit much.
That's why the camera guy was like, "What is this? Oh my God!"
I missed it live, but it's all over social media.
I also missed it live.
I don't know who was announcing.
I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
But oh my. It zooms in, they figure out what it is, and it's, oh my.
I truly cannot imagine being like in a professional role in a broadcast like that, and that happens. Can you imagine our sweet Pete Pranica and Brevin Knight and Rob Fisher having to navigate? They had the person who glued their hand onto the court.
One of them is sweet. Pete is sweet. The
but
other
they're
two.
all sweet.
The other two. They can get a bit worldly.
Well, please don't try it, anybody at
Can you imagine?
Forum.
So
only the WNBA can get away with such unserious nonsense.
After watching the video a couple of times, because it's hilarious.
Yes.
Don't throw things on the court. Also, like,
yeah,
come on, don't
you could
be
hurt
that way.
somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine?
Do people not think about this?
Can you imagine catching a dildo to the face like that?
God, CJ.
I'm just saying.
The other big game, not big game, but the other game last night.
Wow.
Mystics beat the Sky 103-86. Sonia Citron, 28 points. She keeps being awesome. And then Angel Reese had 22 points and 13 rebounds. Her 11th straight double-double. Reminder, she holds the streak for most consecutive double-doubles in the WNBA when she had 15 in her rookie season. She is at 11. Candace Parker is ahead of her in 12th. There's been some weird Candace Parker, Angel Reese discourse that I have not really dove into because sometimes the extracurriculars of the WNBA outside of the funny events of last night can be exhausting. But Angel Reese has been awesome. Like, we talked about her a couple of weeks ago, and talking about someone who's continued to be consistent and somebody who has elevated their game in a variety of ways, despite a very difficult playing situation, playing for a Sky team that is not very good. Angel Reese keeps putting up really good numbers, and not just empty stats, because that became a thing. Like, oh, well, what'd she do? Got a million of her own rebounds, and then she went and trademarked me-bounds. And no, like, she has shown advancement both as an offensive force and a defensive force on the Sky this season.
What's the weird discourse? I've missed this entirely.
I was wondering if you had seen it and could fill me in. I think people think Candace Parker has been unnecessarily critical of Angel Reese, but the way I've seen it is Candace Parker has been very dedicated to treating conversation around the W just like you would treat it around the NBA, not using kids' gloves. And sometimes that's a tricky place to be in because there's all the, what do we say, the ogenisms. There's misogyny, there's homophobia, there's racism, there's sexism that all gets baked into WNBA conversations, and especially some of the hate that comes for Angel Reese. So some people would prefer for there to be some reservation, but I think Candace Parker's been labeled a bit of an Angel Reese hater, which is, but that's just sports talk. Like, at some point, there has to be a separation of sports talk versus personal attacks, you know?
Like, yeah. And it's odd, and in this league in particular, it's really, really hard to do, to be critical without it being taken as, okay, this person is being racist, sexist, homophobic, or what have you. It's a hard line to walk, and you don't want to burden somebody with more. We talked about it with Jai yesterday, more negativity. Because like they're just out there trying to do their jobs. Now, some are doing it much better than others. Everybody is doing it much better than the Sky. Well, maybe not the Sun, but everybody else might be doing it way better than the Sky right now. But you don't want it to become that side of things. As somebody who dislikes a bunch of women in the WNBA, like listen, man, you got to talk about them the way you got to talk about them. If you see it, you got to see something, you got to say something, man.
I'm a lover, not a hater.
You are.
I am.
You love everything. You love everything and everybody.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.